10 things you didn't know about Paul McCartney. Fact 1. He composed a full-length oratorio. In 2006, Paul McCartney ventured into the world of classical music with the release of Exi Cor Meum, Behold My Heart, a full-length oratorio. This ambitious composition was deeply personal for McCartney, as it was created in memory of his late wife, Linda McCartney, who passed away from cancer in 1998. The work took nearly 8 years to complete, with its themes revolving around love, loss, and hope. Unlike pop music, oratorios are large-scale compositions that combine an orchestra with a choir, and Ecce Cor Meum exemplifies McCartney's ability to explore a new musical form. He collaborated with classical music experts, including conductor Gavin Greenaway and the Academy of St Martin in the Fields, to bring his vision to life. The piece features a haunting yet uplifting score, blending McCartney's melodic instincts with traditional classical elements. The oratorio premiered at the Royal Albert Hall in London in November 2006 to an enthusiastic reception. It was performed by the Academy of St Martin in the Fields, the London Voices and soprano Kate Royale. Exi Cor Meum was praised for its emotional depth and complexity, and it earned McCartney a Classical Brit Award for Best Album in 2007. This project revealed McCartney's versatility and willingness to push beyond the boundaries of his established musical style, showing that his creativity extends far beyond pop and rock music. Fact 2. Paul is an accomplished painter. In addition to his extraordinary career in music, Paul McCartney has quietly built a reputation as a talented painter. He began painting in the early 1980s, initially as a way to express himself creatively outside of music. Inspired by modern artists like Willem de Kooning and Picasso, McCartney's works often combine abstract elements with bold, expressive colours. He kept this passion private for many years, only revealing his work to the public in the late 1990s. In 1999, McCartney held his first major public art exhibition in Siegen, Germany, where over 70 of his paintings were showcased. This exhibition revealed McCartney's artistic vision, which draws from both his personal experiences and his reflections on life, often with a playful yet introspective tone. Some of his pieces include self-portraits and tributes to his late wife, Linda McCartney. One notable painting is Big Heart, which he described as a way to visualize love and emotion. McCartney has also experimented with various painting techniques, including using acrylics and oils, and he continues to paint regularly. While his visual art has not reached the same legendary status as his music, it has been well received by critics, and his exhibitions have drawn considerable attention. In 2000, he held another exhibition at the Walker Art Gallery in Liverpool, solidifying his standing as a serious painter. What's fascinating is how McCartney views painting as a complementary creative outlet, stating that it allows him a freedom similar to music, but without the pressure of public performance or commercial expectations. Painting has become an essential part of his artistic journey, offering fans yet another glimpse into his boundless creativity. Fact 3. He's a dedicated vegan and animal rights activist. Paul McCartney has been a passionate advocate for animal rights and a dedicated vegetarian since the 1970s, largely influenced by his late wife, Linda McCartney. The couple decided to adopt a vegetarian lifestyle after an eye-opening experience on their farm. While eating a meal of lamb, they realised the animals grazing in the fields outside their window were the same as those on their plate. This moment sparked their decision to stop consuming meat and led to a lifelong commitment to animal welfare. In the years following Linda's passing, Paul became an even more vocal advocate for animal rights and eventually transitioned to veganism. He's been involved in numerous campaigns with organisations like PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, advocating for ethical treatment of animals, the end of factory farming, and promoting plant-based diets. He has famously said, "If slaughterhouses had glass walls, everyone would be vegetarian," a phrase that has been central to his advocacy work. McCartney also helped launch the Meat-Free Mondays campaign in 2009, encouraging people to skip meat one day a week to reduce their environmental impact and promote healthier eating habits. This global initiative has garnered significant support from individuals, organisations and even governments. Paul believes that small changes like reducing meat consumption can collectively make a big difference for both the planet and animal welfare. In addition to his activism, McCartney also played a key role in continuing Linda's legacy with the Linda McCartney Foods brand, which offers a range of vegetarian and vegan products. The brand, started by Linda, became a pioneering force in the plant-based food movement in the UK, and it remains popular to this day. Paul's commitment to animal rights extends to all aspects of his life. He regularly performs at benefit concerts to raise awareness for animal welfare causes and has been outspoken in his opposition to animal testing, fur farming, and other forms of cruelty. His activism, paired with his status as a global icon, has brought considerable attention to the cause, inspiring many others to consider a plant-based lifestyle. Fact 4. Founder of the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, LIPA. In 1996, Paul McCartney co-founded the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, LIPA, a world-class performing arts institution located in his hometown of Liverpool, England. The school was established with a clear mission: to offer aspiring musicians, actors, dancers and performers the chance to receive professional training and education in the arts. LIPA is housed in the same building where McCartney once attended school as a teenager, the former Liverpool Institute High School for Boys, which closed in the early 1980s. The idea to transform his old school into a performing arts institution came to Paul after he learned of its abandonment and deterioration. He partnered with educationalist Mark Featherstone Whitty to restore the building and create a new kind of institution that blended practical and academic training in the performing arts. The renovation of the building was a multi-million-pound project, much of it funded by Paul himself, along with grants and donations. LIPA quickly gained a reputation as one of the leading performing arts institutions in the UK. Its innovative curriculum combines traditional education with real-world experience in the arts, preparing students for careers in music, dance, acting, and behind-the-scenes roles such as production, lighting, and sound engineering. Paul remains actively involved in the school, regularly attending graduation ceremonies, offering masterclasses, and personally engaging with students. What makes LIPA unique is its emphasis on industry relevance. The school's curriculum is designed in consultation with industry professionals, ensuring that students are equipped with the skills and knowledge required for successful careers. McCartney's influence has helped attract high-profile guest speakers and lecturers from the performing arts world. LIPA has since produced many successful graduates, some of whom have gone on to achieve acclaim in music, theatre and television. Through LIPA, McCartney has left a lasting legacy in arts education, helping to nurture the next generation of performers and creators. Fact 5. Paul McCartney once headlined the largest concert in history. On April 21, 1990, Paul McCartney set a world record by performing in front of an astonishing 350,000 people at a free concert in Rio de Janeiro's Maracana Stadium. The event, part of his Paul McCartney World Tour, was the largest crowd ever gathered for a solo artist concert at the time. The concert was a milestone not only in McCartney's career but in live music history, as it demonstrated the immense global appeal he had even years after the Beatles had disbanded. This record-breaking event featured McCartney playing a mix of Beatles classics and solo hits, showcasing his timeless ability to connect with massive audiences across generations. What made this concert truly special wasn't just the size of the crowd, but the energy and enthusiasm of the fans. Many camped out for days in advance to secure a spot at the historic performance. The event was a testament to McCartney's global influence and enduring popularity. Even decades into his career, he remained one of the few artists who could draw such massive crowds. While McCartney has since performed at countless stadiums and festivals, this concert in Rio stands out as a defining moment in his post-Beatles career, highlighting his continued relevance as a live performer. Fact 6. Paul McCartney was knighted twice by the British monarchy. In 1997, Paul McCartney was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II for his contributions to music, making him Sir Paul McCartney. Then, in 2018, he received an even rarer honour, the Companion of Honour, which is limited to only 65 living recipients. This prestigious award recognised his lifelong impact on music, culture and society, both as a member of the Beatles and through his solo career. McCartney expressed deep gratitude, calling the recognition humbling and a great honour in his life. Fact 7. Paul McCartney was a voice actor in an animated movie. In 1985, Paul McCartney ventured into the world of animation with the release of Rupert and the Frog Song, a short film that he co-produced, wrote and provided voice work for. The film is based on the beloved British comic strip character Rupert Bear, a long-time favourite from McCartney's own childhood. This project reflected not only McCartney's passion for storytelling beyond music, but also his desire to create content that resonated with both children and families. McCartney provided the voice for Rupert Bear himself in the film, taking on a more personal and nostalgic role. The story follows Rupert as he stumbles upon a secret world where frogs gather to sing a magical song. The highlight of the film is the song We All Stand Together, a track written and composed by McCartney specifically for the film. The song, featuring the frog chorus, became a huge success and is often referred to as one of McCartney's most charming creations outside of his usual rock repertoire. We All Stand Together reached #3 on the UK singles chart and became a beloved tune in the UK, especially around the holiday season. While it's often viewed as a children's song, its message of unity and togetherness appealed to all ages, and its catchy, whimsical melody made it a McCartney classic. The song has stood the test of time and is still fondly remembered today, especially by those who grew up watching Rupert and the Frog Song. The animated short itself was part of McCartney's broader creative ventures during the 1980s, where he sought to explore different forms of artistic expression beyond his musical legacy. He had a hand in almost every aspect of the production, from the animation style to the musical score, and it was clear that this was a passion project for him. The film went on to win a British Academy of Film and Television Arts BAFTA award for Best Animated Short Film, further cementing McCartney's ability to excel across multiple forms of media. Although it may not have been a blockbuster hit in the traditional sense, Rupert and the Frog Song holds a special place in McCartney's diverse body of work. It showcased his willingness to take creative risks and dive into new territories such as animation, while still maintaining the charm and musicality for which he is so well known. Fact 8. Paul McCartney composed an experimental electronic album under a pseudonym. In 1993, Paul McCartney surprised the music world by releasing an experimental electronic album titled Strawberries, Oceans, Ships, Forest under the pseudonym The Fireman. The album, a collaboration with producer Youth of the band Killing Joke, was a radical departure from McCartney's usual sound. It featured ambient electronic music, a genre far removed from his pop and rock roots, and showcased his willingness to explore new musical territories. McCartney used the Fireman pseudonym to maintain anonymity and to allow the music to speak for itself without the weight of his fame influencing public perception. The project was so under the radar that many fans didn't even realise McCartney was behind it until years later. The album was entirely instrumental and driven by loops and soundscapes, blending experimental ambient music with subtle rock elements. The Fireman project didn't stop there. In 1998, McCartney and Youth released a second album, Rushes, which continued their exploration of electronic music. This album featured more atmospheric and experimental tracks, diving deeper into the abstract soundscapes. Then, in 2008, they returned with Electric Arguments, an album that incorporated vocals and traditional rock instruments alongside the electronic elements. The Fireman albums were a fascinating and unexpected extension of McCartney's creativity, showing that even after decades in the industry, he was still willing to take risks and push boundaries. The albums gained a cult following and have since been regarded as a hidden gem in McCartney's diverse discography. Fact 9. Paul McCartney was almost in a James Bond movie. Paul McCartney has a long connection with the James Bond franchise, having famously written and performed the theme song for the 1973 film Live and Let Die. But what many fans don't know is that McCartney was almost more than just the composer for the film. He was considered for a cameo appearance as well. During the production of Live and Let Die, the filmmakers approached McCartney about appearing in a small role in the movie. While details of the proposed cameo are scarce, McCartney ultimately decided to stick to writing the iconic theme song, which went on to become one of the most beloved and recognisable tracks in the Bond series. The song was a massive hit, reaching the top 10 in both the UK and US charts, and was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song. Live and Let Die has since become a staple in McCartney's live performances, often accompanied by dazzling pyrotechnics. The song remains one of the most famous and successful Bond themes to this day, and it helped cement McCartney's status not only as a rock legend, but also as a composer for film. While McCartney never appeared in Live and Let Die, his connection to the Bond franchise remains strong, with the song continuing to be celebrated in both Bond history and popular music culture. Fact 10. Paul McCartney was banned from Japan in 1980. In 1980, Paul McCartney was famously arrested and temporarily banned from Japan after being caught with nearly half a pound of marijuana in his luggage upon arriving at Tokyo's Narita International Airport. McCartney was supposed to perform a series of concerts in Japan with Wings, but his arrest led to the tour being cancelled. He spent 9 days in a Japanese jail before being released without formal charges. McCartney later reflected on the incident with regret, acknowledging that it was a careless mistake. The ban was eventually lifted, and he returned to perform in Japan several years later without further incident. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.